Growing up, I was always very playful and bubbly. I could easily talk to strangers about random things, not caring about stranger danger. I articulated my words. So my vernacular was always kind of contrasting or different from my family and even classmates. I had certain interests and goals that weren't expected of me. I didn't care about social anxiety or being embarrassed by being myself in public spaces. And to others, that was a damn shame. I lived in and still live in a world where people will berate at you for being you, for not fitting into certain stereotypes made by one group or another. There was a certain way that I was expected to live, but I didn't get it because I didn't care. But my oblivion to reading the room ultimately had me rejected from these rooms. It had me outcasted for a specific portion of my life. Hello, my name is Kalaya, and today I will be talking about being black, buoyant, and bubbly, not by the books. So, for starters, yes, I was one of those weird kids that people tended not to associate with unless
Plus,
to introduce my younger self, again, I found pleasure in things that would consider me to deviate from the standards. For example, when you're a little girl, what do people expect you to be into? Dolls, dresses, princesses, things that display femininity. And yes, while I did like dolls, what I had interest in dolls with were making stop motion videos, not only with the dolls, but with action figures. I also really liked cartoons, anime, superheroes, and video games. An honorable mention was UFC, and I loved being Kimbo Slice, rest in peace. I also really loved classical music, and on my phone, my ringtones would be pieces by Mozart and Beethoven. And my family, for some reason, found this to be extremely funny. However, around this time, I also aimed to be a pianist. Now, right now, I'm not a pianist, but I definitely know my way or two around a piano.
physical length defines what's within and I've been before.
I could get my hands on any creative experience and I could make the most of it. I could find enjoyment in these things as well. Making this video actually helped me realize how vast my creativity and intelligence was as a kid. I had all of these extravagant things to offer to the world. I had so many interests and I was so great with talking to people, even about these interests, but these same things had me rejected. So my question was, why are all of these wonderful things made me feel rejected or made me be rejected? Number one, I'm black. And let me dissect this. When a certain group of people speak of the hypothetical aspects of a black person, do you ever notice the aggressive, degrading, stereotypical undertone that they begin with, even if they don't flat out state what they want to say? That's what I'm talking about. Ignorance and xenophobia. Because I am black, I am expected to carry myself a certain way, to fit a certain narrative, to fit a negative standard. These creative extensions were things that signified my intelligence. And if you're not comprehending what I'm stating, I'm gonna just flat out say it. I'm not supposed to know all of this. I was not born into a world that wanted to grant me the resources or even have access to any of these things I gained interest in. Not only was that a factor, but my whole ethnicity in general was seen as inferior. My blackness was expected to be a mundane and subjective experience or accessibility to the entire world. Because I simultaneously possessed all of these talents and these great aspects of myself, but was also black, only one or the other could exist, because that's what black people have been conditioned to think to be: nothing or a little bit of something. And people, black or not, were attempting to strip me of my identity, and that our people always possessed but were taught and conditioned to abandon. And do not appear confident or you're going to be seen as arrogant or disrespectful. Continuing from that previous statement, I'm also now a black woman. There comes a great amount of backlash when there is a successful, intelligent, and confident black woman. I have expectations of me as a woman and as a black woman. And if I don't abide by these expectations, I'm hubris and I am now a misandrist. Which, happy Pride Month, because I love everybody. But even black people have a disdain towards black people because of a subconscious yearning to be accepted by others, excluding black people to try and deviate from their true identity. As of today, I am confident within myself to a certain degree, but Because I possess confidence and assurance within myself, this upsets people. Older black women, too. You have not seen or comprehended pure hatred until you have had a conversation with a hating older black woman who is upset with you for carrying yourself with a certain type of poise and confidence, and because you know you possess greatness. Top 3 worst bullies. I could go on and on about it, girl, but I'm not going to. In midst of all of this, I'm still very bubbly and outgoing. Like, I love talking to people about random things. Like, I can make friends so easily. I can literally start off a conversation by complimenting somebody's shirt, and then the next 5 minutes they're talking about how they fell off the stairs in front of the love of their life, and then proceeds to tell me the next 5 minutes how they avoided them at all costs because of the situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so easy for me to connect with people. Again, people don't expect me to be such because I am stereotyped to be aggressive. People have told me that I have a resting face, and while I do understand that, I promise you, if you were to tell a corny dad joke, probably dead be the one laughing the loudest and the hardest in the room. I love corny dad jokes. If you tell corny dad jokes, at the end of the day, who I am has not been an easy journey within my life. Who I am has been constantly rejected. There was even a time in my life where I had even abandoned or rejected myself. Those aspects of myself that make me to be so wonderful and loving and having such a positive navigation and radar throughout the entire world. From a progression of my entire life, I'm still getting back into interests I once had or abandoned as a child, and to be accepted by people that abandoned or didn't even accept themselves. I hope that whoever is watching this, that you never neglect or abandon yourself, especially at the cost of being tolerated, not accepted, tolerated by the people that taught you that it was perfectly fine to neglect or abandon yourself. Utilize your talents, your goals, your dreams, your intelligence, your aspirations for yourself. Be bubbly, be whimsical, be unapologetically black if you are. Your contrast and your differences do not tear you away from your trueness. Don't dim your light trying to appeal to the ones that want to stay in the dark. Yeah, that's my video for today. I hope you liked it, and my throat is hurting really bad. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I don't know when my next video will be. Please do not rush me because that makes me anxious. Thank you for watching, and take care of yourself and have an amazing and wonderful day.
Sway.
I'm gonna leave this in for the outro after I dramatic my little dramatic outro. Okay. Stay pretty, stay tea. Girl, I'm twisted tea. But yeah, do y'all like my fro? Do you like my fro? Why is it flat in the back?